Of course, glad to welcome you back. This is Rise and Shine Thursday edition coming to you live on Spectrum Television. And of course, we're being live from you, the very beautiful city of Akwa State. We encourage you to join us across different social media platforms, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. Now, yesterday was set aside to celebrate the World Tourism Day, give concerns, raise awareness, and of course, drive conversations as far as tourism is concerned and how this sector of God's blessing to humanity at the state and national level can be utilized to further drive communal growth and advancement on a people. Of course, we are being joined virtually by Sir Charles Udo, the Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism. Together, we will be looking at tourism in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, and of course, how these can be invested in to further boost the economic drive and, of course, the industrialization as well as revenue generation in Akwa Ibom State of Nigeria. Good morning, Commissioner. Welcome to Rise and Shine.
Happy to be on air with you for the first time.
All right. How are you feeling this morning, Commissioner, sir?
Great. When God gives you the grace to wake up and see a brand new day, you just have to be grateful to God for that. So I'm grateful to God and I give thanks to God Almighty.
All right. Let's start from the very home front. I know that yesterday we couldn't have this conversation because you were very busy at the Ignite event where we're talking about giving to the entrepreneurs and helping build a team of successful entrepreneurs who will, go ahead to become captains of successive business brands and industries within and outside the shores of Akwa State. So first, how was the event yesterday?
Awesome, 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 awesome. I wouldn't fail to give credit to the visionary, the governor, Pastor Moeno. In 2017, when he came up with this idea, he didn't think, he didn't dream. No one ever dreamt that he would be a governor. But for him, it was driven out of the passion to give Akwa Ibom youth an opportunity in life, an opportunity in entrepreneurship, and an opportunity in mentorship. And so he started that event. So today, yesterday, we had the 2023 edition, and the theme was Stretch, My Story, My Business, where we brought together a cross spectrum of subject matter experts to share their story and experience. The event, we had planned for 1,500, which we eventually had. But what gives us hope and excitement is that we had over 10,000 people registering online. And so even at that, the hall that we had could contain 1,500. We used the auditorium of the what used to be the e-library. We had another 400. And so we are talking about almost 2,000 youth, excluding the ones that viewed online, which we had given them data to view online. And so it is gratifying to be part of such very, very, very impactful event that touches the lives of young people in Akwa Ibom. And then besides that, not just the training and conference and all that, we also gave out business grants. Somebody went away with 2 million naira business grant. Another went away with 1 million naira. A few others went away with 500. Now, these business grants were not just given through a random pick. Each of the winners went through a series of business pitch presentations, which were evaluated by subject matter experts before we could arrive at who has the brightest business idea that that deserves to be supported. We did same last year. Last year we supported beyond the star prizes. There were other people who went away with 250,000 consolation prizes to help their businesses. Last year we gave out prizes to a total of 12 people. What interests us and excites us is that from the 12 that we gave, of course some of them lost their way, but of course a few of them have become employers of labor today. So helping to grow the numbers in job opportunities in the state. And then of course, so for us also, um, we don't just also give them the money, we also support them by mentorship, by monitoring and evaluation to ensure that you use the money judiciously. So it is an exciting time.
Of course, it's an exciting time for Akwa Ibom. We know that the governor has always insisted he wants to build the youth and ensure that youths are no longer being used by politicians. I think that's part of the comment he made at the event, the Ignite event. But let's come down to the focus of the event Ignite and how that will translate into changing the narrative in Akwa Ibom State. What is the future plan for event Ignite before we delve into the conversations around tourism?
Well, the good news is that since 2017, when the event started, it keeps growing. I mean, the first year we didn't have the 2,000 number that we have today. Last year we had about 1,000, okay, and the numbers are growing. And then what gladdens our heart most is that these youths are not mobilized. We also simply open a website and then we broadcast. And then they go there and register, filling forms, giving their details. So the excitement, and then of course, why you didn't also, if you had been at that venue, okay, you didn't see any show boy saying, oh, don't move after, no. Clearly, they registered and then they went to the collection point and picked up their tags that allowed them into the venue. So the only persons you found inside that venue from the gate were people who registered and had collected the identification tag with their passport photograph and all that to show that not just anybody walks in there, because we wanted a serious and conducive environment. And so we've done that. Now, for us, the challenge the planning committee is that, look, the numbers are growing. What do we do? And so going forward in the next few days, when we recover from this trend of trying to put all that together, we will sit back and do a post-mortem and then begin to decide, okay, what do we do next? Because this event has spiraled bigger than what we had imagined. So we need to figure out how to accommodate more Akwa Ibom people. Like the governor said, maybe we can do it in streams, in batches. We will consider all that. But before then, I want to thank Akwa Ibom youth for turning up to seize the opportunity that God has given to them. I wish I had such opportunity. I didn't have. Okay, so today the Akwa Ibom child is blessed because there are so much opportunities to uplift himself, to arise and become something in future.
All right, Mr. Commissioner, before we let you go on that conversation, there have always been government grants, business grants given to Akwa Ibomites.
Sorry, point of correction. This is not government grant.
Okay,
Okay, the monies we raise there, we raise the money independent of
okay, so
government.
is independent of government.
Yes, Pastor Mono started this in 2017. He wasn't a government official.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay,
Last year when we did it, he wasn't a governor yet. So
all
it's
right.
not it's not a government project.
It's good to get that clarification now, but let's look at the modalities being put in place by the organizers. We've seen, apart from the government, that people say, okay, once grants are being given, entrepreneurs, before you wake up, that money is being mischanneled or misused. So I'd like to know, are there modalities that the organizers have put in place to put checks and balances to know that, okay, these people who are benefiting from this grant are able to sustain the business and eventually and possibly also be able to help others in the business world?
Oh yes, the reality of life is that in every 12 there must always be a Judah. Like I said in my opening statement, last year we gave grants to 12 people. Some of them went AWOL. One or two went AWOL. But from that number that remained, some of them have become, about 4 or 5 have become employers of labor, employing other people, expanding their businesses. Some of them have even diversified their businesses. So, of course, what we've done from learning from last year's experience, last year, what we did after giving them the grant, we took maybe about 3 to 6 months before we go checking them. Now, this time, okay, for everybody who has gotten a grant, okay, we've attached a mentor to that person. And then so we are going to do periodic spot checks on those business to be sure that you are doing what you are supposed to do. And then, like I said earlier, we didn't just give grants. These grants were given by people who had proper business plan, business idea, justifiable. And then we also knew that they had businesses registered. We went to CAC and verified that their businesses are registered. We went to their location, business locations as they gave us, to verify that they're actually into that business they claim they're doing, to be sure that we're not just dashing money to people. So those are checks that we are putting in place. We will continue to improve on those checks. But like I said, in every 12, there will always be a Judah.
Of course, in every 12, there'll always be a Judas who would not do what the business or the money was meant for. But let's come back to the focus of our conversation. Yesterday, the world over, we celebrated World Tourism Day, and we're looking at tourism jobs, investing in the creative industries, investing in talents, heritage, of course, for state and national development. I know you're now the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, and within looking at some of the things that have come up in your office from your time as the Commissioner for Information, you've been very deliberate and intentional in some of the programs that come from your office. So let's look at tourism in line with the Arise agenda. What is the blueprint? What is the the focus of this present administration and the mandate given to your office?
Well, clearly, the current administration of Akwa Ibom State, led by His Excellency Pastor Moino, um, has tourism as one of the key focal points. If you recall that during the Arise agenda, tourism also featured prominently. Tourism was one of the 18 focal points that we deliberated on. And so tourism is a key sector in the administration of Pastor Moino. And the blueprint, the policy thrust of the Arise agenda in tourism is to develop the tourism and hospitality sector by leveraging the rich socio-cultural heritage of the state, thereby making Akwa Ibom State the tourist destination of Nigeria and beyond. Of course, that would not come easy. And then we've also listed some objectives which we hope that um, we can actualize. Okay, some of the objectives that we've listed is that we want to develop the tourism and hospitality sector in the state. We want to make Akwa Ibom the most preferred destination in Africa. Remember, I said yes, in the policy thrust we talked about Nigeria, but I also said we want to go beyond Nigeria. We want to develop recreational and tourism sites in Akwa Ibom. We want to showcase and preserve the rich cultural heritage and traditions of our people. For instance, sitting here, there are a lot of people who don't know what the traditional attire of of where they come from is, because we are gradually because the world has become a global village. We are gradually beginning to lose that. Okay, so we want to bring that back up. We want to create jobs. We want to create employment. We want to attract foreign direct investment. Okay, through the offer of diverse tourism, through the offer of diverse tourism attraction options in the state. We want to increase the foreign exchange earnings of not just the state but Nigeria, because it's so much. A country like Gambia is as small as we are, okay, in terms of landmass, probably, no disrespect to them, but their major economic driver is tourism. Rwanda is being driven by tourism. Kenya, we all know about the safari in Kenya. Okay, so we are saying to ourselves that look, if these countries can do it, Gambia, for instance, the shoreline of Gambia is not up to the size of shoreline in Ibom. So if they can utilize that, whereas we have 129 kilometers of shoreline, so if the Gambians can utilize that, and then the Gambia becomes a part of the cruise. It becomes a stop point in the cruise ship circuit. So we believe that Akwa Ibom can also do same. So we're not resting on that. Yes, of course, in the past we haven't paid attention to that, but we are saying to ourselves that look, we have so much. Okay, Nigeria started in Akwa Ibom. What do I mean by that? The word Nigeria was conceived, birthed, written, typewritten in Ikorobasi by Lady Flora Shaw. The building where Lady Flora Shaw and her husband Lord Lugard lived is still there in Ikorobasi. The office where they used to work, where they had a typewriter that typed the first word of Nigeria, is still in Ikorobasi, the amalgamation house. The quarters where all the workers lived, they are still there. And then also, Ikorobasi outside was also a major slave trade hub in West Africa. Outside Badagry in Nigeria, Ikorobasi was the next. So Ikorobasi and Badagry were the major slave trade hub. Now all those relics are still there. There's a bridge of no return. There's a dungeon in the middle of the water where you see that our grandfathers were dumped inside like animals, like fishes, before they were transported. Now we need to retell those stories. We need to restore those relics. Luckily, His Excellency the Governor mentioned about that. Work has commenced, okay, in terms of drawing and all those. And then also, most people, the one that is so hurtful is that in 1929, our great grandmothers, okay, were killed, maimed. by the colonial masters in the women riot. Unfortunately, some historian woke up and said it was in Aba. And we are saying, no, we need to retell that story. I'm sorry, it wasn't in Aba. Those women were our great grandmothers from Ikorabas, from Akwa Ibom State and the neighborhood. The relics are still there. The stories are being told. Udo Odoma's grandmother was one of those who led that fight. Okay, so we want to retell that story. The only downside is that for so long, as Akwa Ibom, we were not telling our story. Okay, that's why the Akwa Ibom man in the past was the one timid man who felt that, oh, if his name is peace, sorry, if his name is Amen, he wants to answer peace. If his name is Itori, he wants to answer praise, not answering his real name. And so the Akwa Ibom man today is proud because successive governments in Akwa Ibom have raised the bar of expectation of the brand of the Akwa Ibom personnel from Ibom Air to all the things that we've done. Today, Akwa Ibom is respected in the Committee of State. Today, that's why you are seeing that Ibom Icon Hotel, 4 Points by Sheraton, are permanently fully booked. Ibom Air is struggling to cope with the passenger traffic. Akwa Ibom is the football capital of Nigeria. We're the only stadium in Nigeria where FIFA and CAF have approved it resides. Okay, so it tells us that, look, the potentials are enormous, even though we're not very conscious about driving tourism. Okay, people were still coming. Now we want to consciously do so. And we're saying to ourselves, look, our sisters in the movie industry, for instance, Iveson, Eniedo, Emerison, they've done so well. But suddenly, I hear that another state in Nigeria is being touted as the Nollywood capital. And we are saying, no, we're going to challenge that status, that it can't be so. And the reason why, when I asked and said, so why is it so? I was told, oh, in that state, the government has built a film village. The hotels, they give incentives. The transporters, they give incentives. The barman, they gives incentives. And I'm saying, what kind of incentives can they give that I can't give? Okay, Akwa Ibom, thanks to successive from Abon to Gospel Akpabe to Udom Emmanuel to Umoeno, we have a natural film village. We don't need to build anyone. Everywhere in Akwa Ibom is a film village. There's no kind of movie you want to shoot in Akwa Ibom, you can't find a location to shoot that movie. We have all of it, so we don't need to build one. So I'm saying, I've told my brothers and sisters in the Nollywood, I say, sorry, come here. Okay, as long as God has kept me here through the magnanimity of Pastor Moeno, I'm going to support you. in 1991, when Ememi Song shot her first movie, we were just young children. She shot the first movie in my house. I didn't know I was going to become Commissioner for Culture and Tourism at Akwa Ibom State. The movie Jezebel by Ememi Song was shot in my house. Okay, I donated the jacket and posters to that movie. Okay, because for me it was just passion. I didn't know God was preparing me for this. So today, if Pastor Moino has found me worthy to sit here, and by the grace of God, I want to do same. So I've told all of them, come to Akwa Ibom, come shoot the movies. One of them has already taken advantage. Okay, and I've asked her, look, which location do you want to use? And she's told me the locations. I've written letters of my official letters from my ministry to those locations, introducing them and telling them why they should allow them use those locations. Okay, I've also spoken to heads of those locations to allow them use those locations. Of course, they also wanted airline rebate. I've also spoken to Ibom Air. But of course, the conditions I've given them is that, look, we will do all this. But two conditions. Number one, all the wakapas, okay, if you know what wakapas is in a movie, must be Akwa Ibomites. All of them, because that's job creation, that's exposure, that's mentorship. So all the wakapas, 100%, you can bring your Ramzinwa, bring your Kanayo to come and do the star actors. But sorry, all the wakapas must be my young girls and my young boys.
Okay,
Give them the
Commissioner,
opportunity.
sorry, let me pause you there. Now, I've been in the movie industry for a while, and I understand the Waka Pass rule. But at this point, I hope my memory serves me right. We've been having conversations with a conglomerate of all the Akwa Ibom sons who are in the entertainment industries. They're championing a conversation towards coming back home to Akwa Ibom State to drive the entertainment industry, to form a collaboration with people within the states to ensure that our stories are being retold or told properly. I think it was last year that we had a play, the About Women Riot, that was staged in Akwa
You
Ibom
for
State.
Iban.
Yes, the
You for
UFO
Iban.
Iban, yes. Okay, now, since then, we've had this conversation to change the narrative. I remember hosting the director of that stage performance on this set, and he said, for the first time in his life, it was during that performance that he got to know that that story actually originated from Akwa Ibom State and not Aba, as he's known all his life. So these are conversations that we've been having, and we need to further post it to the outside world, because shortly after that stage play was done, we saw, I think it was one of these movie entertainers who actually kickstarted. Okay, Stephanie. Yes, it was Stephanie who actually went ahead to retell another story, still tagging in about women riot, and we all had to react to it, calling on Akwa Ibom filmmakers and content creators to take up, and of course the government by extension. Now you've highlighted a whole lot of issues. Let's calm down. Our talent needs to be projected. We need to push people out there. So, because we don't just want to have waka pass. Yes, waka pass will help put our people on the spotlight, but then for us to be truly identified, we truly notice, we need to also take on this challenging role. So aside from, giving the opportunities for these content creators to come down, what other modalities is your ministry going to put in place to ensure our young people are given further opportunity? Because we have a lot of amazing talents all across Akwa Ibom State.
Yes, sir. Fantastic, sir. But this hear me out, sir. 100 miles journey starts with one step. Nobody's going to, no movie maker is going to invest millions of naira to do a movie and then picks a star role and give to a novice. So I'm saying to him, we are saying, look, give these guys the opportunity to start with waka pass. Okay, from waka pass he gains confidence. From waka pass you can see his potentials. Then you can begin to push him further, give him roles, increasingly important roles. You can't just pick a novice. You can't just pick me, for instance. I've never acted in a movie and then suddenly give me a star role. Trust me, I may not do well. And then, sorry, no investor is going to risk his money because he wants to come shoot the film in your state. Oh, then he must give Okun that star role, whether it's good or not. No, nobody's going to do that. We are business people. So we are saying, at the barest minimum, start with that one first. Okay? When you give these guys, these young girls opportunities, those young boys opportunities, we are monitoring. From that waka pass role, you see the one who has talent. The waka pass role is more of an auditioning. Okay? Because now you see them there on the screen. That means that they are earning some income. That means that's job creation. Okay? So we're not just saying waka pass for eternity. No. Sorry, we are realistic. Unless we are saying that, oh, we are going to cough out money from our pockets to do movies. The government has no business doing that. What government has business doing is creating the enabling environment. So we're saying let's start with that. Okay? What put them there? Yes, the Evasons will still be there. The MME songs will still be there. The Niedos will still be there. The Niebet Francis will still be there. The Eken and Kans will still be there. Okay, we still have the Moses Escorts will still be there. So but we're saying like, look, if you are coming, I'm not putting 1 naira in your business. I'm trying to attract you. At least let's start with that. When you come and you see that, oh, Akwa Ibom is a beautiful place. Okay, you have that enabling environment to shoot your movie. Then we can begin to up the stakes. We can begin to ask for more. Okay, so 2 things we're asking for. Give all of us out the waka pass first. Let's grab that one first. Come and shoot the movie. By shooting the movie, you're going to stay in hotels. That means you are feeding my economy. By shooting the movie, you're going to eat my food. That means you are feeding my economy. You're going to use my bomb. You're going to use transport here. Okay, you're putting Akwa Ibom on the spot. And then you're going to give me credit to say, look, this movie is supported by Akwa Ibom state government. So for as long as that movie is being aired, that credit line will still be there. It means that more movie producers will see that, oh, Akwa Ibom is supportive. Akwa Ibom wants to do this. More of them will come. Then we can begin to see how it goes. If we shot in Akwa Ibom in a year, trust me, by the time we shoot movie number 15, the waka pass in movie number 1 and 2 would have become star actors because they would have been exposed. That is the business idea.
All right. It's a beautiful plan that has been laid out so far for the Akwa Ibom youth, but of course, questions have always been asked when it comes to implementation. I remember attending the first, movie makers town hall meeting that was hosted at Ibom Hall, rather at the Tropicana Mall, sometime last year. And we had the likes of Mifflin and when I was still in government as then the SSA on talent development, I think Mr. Emmanuel Owola and other government officials being part of that event. And some of the conversations were about being a lot more intentional about the collaborations between government and the people. Now we know Akwa Ibom has the security, we have the hospitality, of course we have the landscapes for these movies. And you are coming in to balance the status quo by providing proper official grounds for government collaboration. So, in your projection, with this available and enabling environment, where do you see Akwa Ibom in the next, say, 4 or 5 years in the projection of the entertainment industry?
Ibom as being the preferred destination for tourism in Nigeria. That's why yesterday we announced a call for submission of designs and concepts for it for designs for tag. We are tagging Discover Akwa Ibom. Now, by turn of the next, at the beginning of next year, we're going to launch a destination marketing campaign, a deliberate marketing campaign. Right now, what we are doing, people are just coming on their own. So we are going to say, look, from January 1st, we're going to roll out a full-fledged 360-degree destination marketing campaign tag to drive traffic to Akwa Ibom. And then for us also, it would have been easy for us to hire a consultant and say, come, design this logo for me, do this theme song for me. Oh, let's run and then begin to create the material and begin to push. Now we are saying no. This government is talking about entrepreneurship. It's talking about job creation. And we talking about building our own talent. We're talking about halting capital flight. So we're saying, so my ministry is saying, look, instead of going to hire a consultant and pay him millions of naira, okay, and see go through the same hawk, correcting with him, reality is what do consultants do? A consultant comes, sketches something for you, and then you sit down correcting with him until you get the final logo right. Okay, so why don't I throw at this thing as a competition for my young people? Put a price tag. Okay, if you follow the processes, okay, that we put. We're saying, look, we top 10 designs will be selected, okay, and then designers will be invited for further conversations. Okay, the reason why we're doing that is that we don't want to announce, oh, after we get 1,000 entries and say this one is the best. No, we'll select the top 10, then call the artist to sit down. What we would have done with a consultant from outside and pay him dollars, we'll do with those 10 people. Okay, pan a bit until we begin to shortlist from those 10 till we have the final logo. I've heard some people go to social media and say, oh, no, this is waste of time. Why don't you go and hire a consultant? Those same people would have been those to say, oh, why are you paying millions of dollars to a consultant? So we're saying, look, let Akwa Ibom people become the consultants. Go, they design the logo, design the song, put them there. We're giving you an email address. We will sit down. We have a team of experts. Sit down, look at it, shortlist the top 10. Okay, we would have said, oh, top one win and move on. No, when you shortlist the top 10, the reason why you want to shortlist the top 10 is that
Okay, I think the network just came to interfere there.
look, design.
All right.
So that's what we're planning. So that what we are doing is that between now and December, okay, when we announce the winners, we would have gone through all that processes so that the materials that we are creating to run that destination marketing campaign will roll out from New Year. We can't do it now because the drama of Christmas and all that will swallow that campaign. So we want to break out that campaign immediately. The drama of Christmas subsides. So we know that look, Akwa Ibom is launching out. Akwa Ibom is serious about destination marketing. Akwa Ibom is serious about tourism. It's no longer lip service.
All right, just before we let you go, Commissioner Sir, I'd like to ask, what's the progression, the projection of the number of requirements that can be gainfully employed as a result of all of these plans by the present administration in the area of tourism? Just briefly before we let you go.
I'll be lying to you. I'm not a statistician, okay, but I'm a businessman. I was a banker, and so I know. And so all you could do is that let's take the football match that I played, the last football match where we walloped that country. Okay, that we had what was the capacity of the nest of champions? Over 30,000, right? And we had a full house. Okay, and over 40% of that full house came from outside the state. Now, what does that translate into? It means that all the hotels within town had businesses. Okay, it means that all the bars in town had businesses. Champion Breweries had their sales grew, so I can't give the absolute numbers. It means that all the mama put joints, their businesses grew that period. All the pepper soup joints, their businesses grew. That money did not come to the coffers of government. That money went into the economy of Akwa Ibom State, irrespective of party line of our affiliations. That is what we are talking about. Of course, you know that the state government is planning to set up a Bureau of Statistics. When that happens, the Bureau will be able to give you absolute numbers. If anybody gives absolute numbers now, it's just guesswork. But what we are trying to do is to tell you that see the potentials, see the opportunities, just using that football as an example. you can imagine the number of opportunities that we created from one single football match. So imagine if we had more of those football matches.
All right, thank
That
you.
week also, that same period also, Ibom Air had an additional. You know, Ibom Air run 2 flights a day in and out of Uyo. With that period, Ibom Air had 3 flights. That's more revenue to Ibom Air.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Sir. We do hope to still come back to you as we progress in the Arise agenda and the tourism sector to keep Akwa Ibomites and the world at large updated with happenings. But we truly appreciate you making out the time to be with us today on Rise and Shine.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you. Do have a great day.